Hey, this is Chuck Billy from Testament, and you're listening to Mosh Pit on Sin.
Chuck Billy is the vocalist of legendary thrash band Testament. They'll be releasing their new album, Brotherhood of the Snake, on October 28th. Chuck, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
You're very welcome. Now, tell us a bit about this album. I mean, how does Testament write and record between the five of you in the band?
Well, I mean, it's changed from the beginning of time till now, of course, with different lineup changes, but, especially technology changing where it's at, where you can work, from your computers as well. We don't live near each other anymore, so it's, everybody lives across country or out of state, and so it's a little bit of a task, So me and Eric had a lot of it, of the role of writing on this record. The other guys were busy on the off time, doing other things. So, it took a long time between, getting some tour offers and going on the road, doing some shows till, getting back home and working on the record. We went through a lot to get to this record done to where it's at right now today, finished finally. Just a lot of emotion went into it, and, a lot of communication issues with me and Eric, and we went through a lot to get it done, but through everything we went through, at the end of the day, we're like, damn, man, it turned out killer.
Now, the communication issues, do you think that sort of contributes maybe to the success of the album, because perhaps, you're working through a lot more, there's a bit more passion going into it?
Well, that as well as we backed ourselves in a corner a little bit. We knew that we wanted a record this year. And we knew we were going to Europe in June, so we had to get it recorded by then if we wanted a record this year. So, Gene had an open window in May of a couple of weeks, so we just said, we don't have a choice, we just need to book it, and went into the studio basically, not rehearsed with the band, and demoed, all songs demoed up. So it was kind of a, new thing, but we had no choice. But I think what really happened is everybody just kind of, like I said, backs against the wall, and everybody came through and kicked ass on the record. And, maybe it just pushed everybody a little bit out of their comfort zone and really didn't give everybody a chance to second guess it or over polish it, and maybe just go with their gut instinct, first impressions, and I think, it did lead to the way that the record did turn out.
I noticed that everyone, I think, has recorded with Testament before at various stages. Is that sort of make a noticeable difference when you've got, for this record at least, everyone has already done something with Testament previously?
Yeah, I mean, it's, we got great musicians, Gene Hoglan, Steve DiGiorgio. I mean, come on, the backbone of the rhythm section is just crushing. Yeah, and I think, times have changed. We've recorded some records live all in one room, and I think we just, with now the way technology is, we just would prefer recording everything separate, and really focus on it.
Now, talk a bit about the lyrics of this album, because I'm intrigued by this Brotherhood of the Snake idea.
Right. Well, as actually, in our past, we wrote songs that are more about reality, real life situations. And I know Eric had just made mention before creating and writing the record is like, let's kind of maybe we can step away from being so personal and real, and let's try to come up with something and create something, and something that's big, cool imagery and some cool lyrics and ideas and stuff we can kind of build a story off of. And so I was up for it, and at the time I was fascinated with this show on, it was aliens, and it was just different religions and different sightings from around the world from thousands of years ago that's been documented, and it just opened up the idea and possibility that, man, maybe there's some connection to this, alien thing with all these sightings around the world so many thousands of years ago, and just opened up the possibilities to happen. And then I actually ran across the story of the Brotherhood of the Snake, which was actually a secret society over 6,000 years ago. Basically, we're out on a mission to, take down all other religions and basically what they believed was a alien king or god or ruler would Anu would basically create mankind to mine the earth of its gold and minerals. So all of a sudden there's our starting point for what kind of inspired. Okay, that's kind of something cool we can build off. The aliens and religion and secret societies and corporate power and political power, and it all just kind of tied together. And so we started going that way. Started launching songs like Brotherhood of the Snake and The Pale King and, songs like that. So, that's kind of where it kind of took off from.
What is the process for you writing your vocal parts? You've got do you have the music first? Do you base the music off some things that are going on in your mind? How does that work?
Well, it's different. I mean, I got to have the riff. Eric will give me some guitar, not it have to be finished, just some stuff, and I could just kind of go over in my head until I find it's like jumping rope. You keep going over and over and try to find the right place to jump in. And it really is. And so I just keep, I take it and digest it. And the thing about this record is I've digested a lot of the songs for a long time, and and I think in my head had them down or the way I heard them. Some worked in the studio and some didn't. Some we went in and some they just didn't come across right. Some songs I rewrote, 3 to 4 times, different lyrics, different patterns, and until I was like going, yeah, okay, cool, I'm happy with that. So a lot of it was just a lot of hard work in the studio and just kind of just getting it out.
Now, it's my understanding you wrote Numbers Game with Steve from Exodus, and you also appeared Zetro. You also appeared on their last album. Do you guys chat about writing songs, doing craft and stuff?
Well, me and Zet, we've been friends a long time, and we did the 2 Devil and Death Patrol records together, and that's when we worked together for the first time, really, and realized, shit, man, we were kicking out songs quick, and we had we realized, we knocked out and wrote some good shit. So I said, why not give it a shot with Testament? So I brought him in, I think a couple records ago, and he's wrote a couple songs with me here and there. And then this one, he had a little more time on his hands, and he stepped in for a few more songs on this record as well.
Oh, that's cool. It's always good to hear that musicians from other bands are getting along. The last 5 records, Brotherhood of the Snake included, I felt like you've kind of found yourself. You've struck a real balance between the more extreme stuff, the more melodic stuff. How do you feel about this period in your career?
Well, I feel pretty good. I mean, I think it came a long way from once was back from the Gathering record. Once I got sick and really didn't think I was going to be coming back to perform with Testament and beating cancer, and then having this opportunity, I think once that whole thing came about, and we really started touring harder and, working harder, things have kind of flipped and changed again, and I think it's putting a little more confidence, having, that reunion get together, and, just as everything about that, was a key to, where we are today.
Testament's new album, Brotherhood of the Snake, is going to be released on October 28th. Chuck, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Right on, my brother.